For tonight, our focus is on that handshake that you can see on the screens right now between Samuel OKUDZETO ABLAKWA, our Foreign Affairs Minister, and a delegation from the Republic of Nigeria. The move is ostensibly targeted at dousing the flames and tension which has been on the rise between a section of the Ghanaian population who have gone onto social media stoking some anti-Nigerian sentiments following a video that went viral from a diasporan community here in Ghana.
On behalf of President John Dramani Mahama, we welcome the Minister of State from the Federal Republic of Nigeria in charge of Foreign Affairs to Ghana. We have just concluded a very successful bilateral discussion on the recent disturbances which have sought to undermine the cordial and friendly relations that has existed between our two countries historically.
Oh, really? You call Ghanaians' concerns about kidnapping and unaliving of Ghanaian citizens mere disturbances? Is that how you see it? Is that why you fail to see the need to address us and our concerns? You call the unaliving of a Ghanaian landlord who was good enough to loan money to an ungrateful Nigerian woman. And when he requested for repayment, her response was to go and get her son and daughter and 8 other Nigerian thugs to unalive him with a pair of scissors. You call that a disturbance? You call it disturbances that Nigerians hired Ghanaian taxi drivers and on the way kidnapped them and then unalived them and disposed of their bodies like trash. You call that a mere disturbance? You call it an annoying disturbance that one of your employees at the Ghana embassy in Nigeria, because as Minister of Foreign Affairs, by extension, she's your employee, who was brutalized, assaulted, and ultimately passed away. Disturbances? Really? Thank you for letting us know loud and clear how you really feel about us. We, the people who have put you in a position to advocate for us, Thank you for letting us know loud and clear that when we bring up the topic of our concerns, you see it as a mere disturbance. Hi, everyone, and welcome to Ghana Observer. Thank you also so much for stopping by. To all my returning subscribers, thank you for your continued patronage. I really appreciate you all. And if this is your first time here, a warm welcome to you. And please do consider subscribing and joining the fam. I would truly appreciate that. Folks, I wanted to address, I don't know what they call this, press conference, whatever it is, that took place, within the last few hours. Because when I say it's beyond ridiculous, the way Ghana's foreign minister completely ignored, he didn't even bother to gloss over, ignored the concerns of Ghanaians and just went straight, allowed the Nigerian foreign minister to voice her concerns about her citizens living in Ghana without addressing the misbehavior that is causing Ghanaians to react the way they are. It's beyond infuriating, annoying. So let's dive into it.
The Honorable Minister for Foreign Affairs of Nigeria has conveyed a message from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, which message will also be delivered to his brother, President John Dramani Mahama. And it is a message of peace, it is a message of love, it is a message that reiterates the inseparable bond of friendship and brotherhood between our two countries.
A blatant lie, because a brother will not come into your space and unalive you or kidnap you or do human trafficking, cybercrime. The list goes on. So where is the union of peace? And I don't know whether it's a delusional world that Ghanaian quote-unquote leaders, because at this point, are they leaders? What is going on? No, we have to really question what our leaders sleep, wake up, and think about. Because now we can understand why Ghana, which is one of the richest countries in the world, is where it's at. Because the leaders have no clue what they're doing. That's why they can sit across the table and offer foreigners 80% and get 20%, steal 15%, and even the 5% left, they still cannot use it for the benefit of Ghanaians. Just a couple of days ago, 16 people died, including children, because you have refused to fix our roads. Where is the money going to? So don't come and placate us, because we are beyond it now. It's sickening and it's tiring.
As we have agreed, the video that went viral, which incensed Ghanaians legitimately, we were all outraged when we saw that video. That video has been condemned by our counterparts from Nigeria. They have reprimanded the gentleman. He has been asked not to engage in such statements and such commentary. As you do know, I had met him earlier, and he was very contrite in the meeting, has apologized. He's issued a public statement apologizing to President Mahama, to the government and people of Ghana. And based on his conduct, he has demonstrated good faith that he's really, upon reflection, apologetic and will not tread that path any longer.
These are leaders have no clue who they are dealing with. You think this hard-headed man, this 419 man, who used to call himself king and conned you all into believing that he was a king when his own traditional rulers had ruled that he should stop prancing around calling himself king. That's how he got the title 419 king. He's going to give up. Watch him try to still go through with his Yam festival. Watch him. You think he's going to give it up? He's just giving you empty platitudes. The way he was able to come to all of you and shake hands and use it to get his so-called investors to invest in fictitious companies in Ghana, no? You think he's going to give all that up? He's just going to lie in wait till things have quietened down. But trust and believe, we Ghanaian citizens, we're going to keep our eyes on him. He will not be doing anything apart from being a quote-unquote leader for his Igbo people. While here, let me interject real quick that, remember Ghanaians, we are celebrating Dr. Kwame Nkrumah's birthday at Efia Sutherland Park on the 21st of September, starting at 10 o'clock. So if he thinks Ghanaians are going to back off so that he can do whatever, he better have another thing coming, because obviously our leaders let him get away with everything and anything, and it's going to change. So reading between the lines, Ghanaian leaders thought they could just call him and pat us and placate us. Oh, he said a few words of apology. If he really meant his apology, he wouldn't have called the fancy developmental chief to come and intervene and brandish around all kinds of certificates that the Ghana Traditional Council has inducted him. You think he's going to give it up easily? Don't worry, we'll do your job for you. We Ghanaian citizens will keep our eyes on him and make sure he knows what to do, because he doesn't know how to behave on foreign space. We don't care that his wife is Ghanaian, because she's let go of her Ghanaian side and allowed him to take over to indoctrinate her with Nigerian culture. So she can go that way. If that's what she wants, it's all well and good. Everyone has a free will. But what you are not going to do is use her as a Ghanaian to invade our space and infiltrate. It's not going to happen.
It is also important to emphasize that we have agreed that we will deepen our community-to-community engagements. We are conscious of our history, that even though we have a historical background with a lot of our ethnic groups having the same heritage and antecedents. You do know, for example, that the Ewe people migrated together with Nigerians, sojourned in Ile-Ife, and continued to the Gold Coast. The Gans have a similar story.
Migrated together from the original spot and then sojourned, meaning they temporarily stayed there. They did not come from there originally. And then they moved on to Gold Coast, which became Ghana. So what is this disturbance? If anything, it's the Ga and the Ewe, or whoever you're trying to so hard to make a connection with. If that were true and the case, they should be going back there to look for their roots. They should be disturbing Nigerians' peace instead of them bothering us. It's like the Jamaicans, African Americans, those in Brazil, coming to West Africa mainly, although they do travel through the whole of Africa, searching for their roots, and not the other way around of we going there to disturb them. When we go there, it's oftentimes because we're seeking greener pastures. Not always the case. It could be for visiting. We don't go and disturb them that you came from us, so you change your laws to suit us. Because we know how to behave when we are in foreign land. Unlike some, that's what she should have been addressing. That know how to behave when you're on foreign land, because this is not Nigeria. And you let her get away with it, and you are coming to admonish whom? We, the citizens who pay you to serve us? Like, someone make this make sense.
That is why we have been demonstrating a lot of maturity and asking that we douse the flames, we show compassion, we should remember that we are one people. Let's always remember that Ghana, as the headquarters of Pan-Africanism, what Osajifo Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the founder of our country, taught us, is that we should ignore artificial boundaries. We are one people. And let us always remember that there is a bigger goal, a bigger Pan-African agenda, where we want to form an all-united states of Africa. And that is what we must be working towards.
First off, being Pan-African does not mean that people should come and behave whichever way and be tolerated. And while you are busy trying to act mature and compassionate to douse out whatever fires or flames, this is what other Africans, West Africans at that, are doing to each other. And it's up to them, and it's all fine because they're trying to protect their citizens. Did we hear that? Their citizens and country's sovereignty.
And shifting focus to West Africa, Nigeria has deported over 60 illegal immigrants back to the junta-led Mali. Nigerian officials say that they have deported 62 undocumented migrants back to Mali. This group includes 51 men and 11 women, all detained for illegal entry and removed through formal immigration channels. This move brings two pressing issues into focus. First, the escalating uncertainty in Mali after military coups. Second, the growing wave of irregular migration across West Africa's porous borders. Most countries in the region lack the infrastructure to monitor entry and exit points. Many border areas have no fences, no checkpoints, and no surveillance. This vacuum has been exploited by smugglers, militants, terrorists, and human traffickers. Over the years, Nigeria has struggled with uncontrolled cross-border migration. Last year, the country deported 828 illegal immigrants.
Nestled on the Gambian coastline, this small fishing village is officially known as Ghana Town, a reference to the Ghanaian migrants who settled here in the late 1950s and whose descendants are still waiting to obtain Gambian citizenship.
They said even you are a Ghanaian born in the Gambia, you are still a foreigner.
Just like their elders who arrived over 60 years ago, Ghana Town residents mostly make a living through fishing. Without official documents, it's impossible for them to apply for a job or even to go seek opportunities abroad.
I had a scholarship to study in India. Whenever I go to the immigration department, they said I'm a Ghanaian, I'm from Ghana Town. So they deny me from having a passport. Still now I'm here, I couldn't get a passport.
Has anyone heard Mali people complaining on top of their voices and disturbing Nigeria as a country? No, because they know that was not their country. Has anyone heard Ghanaians disturbing the peace of Gambians? No, because they know they're on foreign land. Because they know how to behave on foreign land. You're not going to disturb the peace and disrupt the lives of the citizens. The citizens of those nations come first. But if it had been another group of people, we know how they would escalate and disturb everyone within hearing distance. Xenophobia, they hate us, they're jealous of us. Ridiculous. So Ghanaians are we are just so over-hospitable, over-accommodating, and people are taking advantage of us, including our leaders. And this is what our leaders fail to acknowledge, that other West Africans are putting their citizens first. Which part of that is so hard to understand?
Of the Republic of Ghana, I wish to convey our special appreciation and our gratitude on behalf of myself and my delegation. We arrived the Republic of Ghana yesterday on a fact-finding mission as special envoys of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. As a result of the recent disturbances that have made the rounds in Nigeria via social media and viral video clips, we have been concerned, the government and the people of Nigeria have been concerned about the, in quote, widespread protests that have been taking place in Ghana, requesting Nigerians to leave. And there has been palpable tension in Nigeria regarding the safety of the lives and properties of our nationals residing here in Ghana.
The nerve and audacity of these people, the nerve and audacity and temerity, where she couldn't even acknowledge or accept the atrocities and the havoc her people are causing in Ghana. She couldn't even mention something that happened on her own land. The employee of the Ghana embassy in Nigeria. She couldn't even offer an apology. That shows you the type of people they are. And you want us to coexist with you as one? It will never happen. By God, it won't happen. I've said that you flee when no one is chasing you. You pick up your things and leave when no one is chasing you. Because what are you talking about? I'm on a fact-finding mission. Of what? Have you finished fact-checking? Why Fulanis are downing your citizens, 200 people, over 200 people at a time? Have you finished fact-checking why the fish magnet, after a ransom was collected, was still unalived? Have you fact-checked that? Have you fact-checked why your senators are debating whether your citizens are worth more or less than cows? Have you finished checking that out? The nerve that you have. Because folks, what she's basically saying here is that Ghanaians have the propensity to cause Nigerians harm in this country, when it's really the other way around. You see how they gaslight and project what they would do under the same circumstances onto others? If fortunes were reversed and Ghanaians were trooping into Nigeria, no one has to tell you. No one has to tell you how they'll be treating Ghanaians. Hey, God, no wonder Ghana is blessed and will be forever blessed. Because we'll never go down to your level. But because you are violent people, because how is it that you, the leader, what fact-checking are you doing in Ghana? That we are destroying their homes? That there are shower things that they are doing? The unaliving of our people? And we are still patient with people like this. So you think we are going to lower ourselves like you people? We will never do that. But God, because our leaders are not advocating for us, no, we know that our God will intervene for us. Because how dare you come and stand on our land, your property? What property are we going to destroy? That you have to come on a fact-finding mission. And our foreign minister stood by. All he was waiting is jump and he will ask her, how high? Why didn't you ask her to admonish her people to know how to behave on foreign land? While she was on a mission to fact-check whether Ghanaians had destroyed her people's homes in Ghana and property. You stood there and said nothing. And this is an example of when I say they come and stroke your ego and then you let down your guard. Where is the discernment of what's really going on?
I must start by saying a big thank you to the President of the Republic of Ghana, President John Dramani Mahama, and of course, Honorable ABLAKWA, for their warm hospitality, the warm welcome we received when we arrived. And of course, we were pleased to note that things were rather calm here in Ghana. The tensions that have been generated by these viral videos in Nigeria seem to literally have evaporated once we arrived to see that there were, no visible the protests that were ongoing. We want to reiterate essentially that Nigeria and Ghana have long been partners as a result, as the Honorable Minister has said, of our shared history. We have a special relationship. So much bonds us together. And these kinds of insightful videos, clips, rhetoric are capable of causing irreversible damage. They're capable of inflaming nations within the shortest possible time, because young people often don't understand the far-reaching effects of the actions that they take. And a lot of the time, they jeopardize the lives of properties of people who, in most cases, are innocent. So our government has been concerned. Our National Assembly had been concerned in Nigeria. Our traditional institution has been concerned. The rank and file, essentially, and the ordinary citizen on the street has been concerned about the tensions that have been generated in Ghana. And they just would want to be assured that Nigerian nationals in Ghana are coexisting very well with their Ghanaian brothers, and that their lives and their livelihoods are not in any danger at all.
As I said, the chutzpah, the audacity. So basically, they want to continue using Ghana as their dumping ground for their overpopulated country. When you read between the lines, our porous borders should still be porous so that they can just troop in, because they cannot take care of their own. So they're going to dump it on another country. Shame on you. Both of you. I thought you were the so-called giant of Africa. Why are you now begging? Take your banks that you disturb us with and leave. Me, when I discovered that EcoBank was Nigerian, I took my money out and took it to Car Bank. That's what's up. We're sick and tired of your bragging. It's nauseating and sickening. You seem to forget what Kwame Nkrumah told the world about Ghanaians. Do too much. Ghana will never collapse because of your banks that you disturb us with. Take it and leave. Recently, or maybe a couple of years ago at least, Rwanda acknowledged the role of Ghanaian soldiers in the war that took place there. We don't go around rubbing their faces in it, because when you are gracious, you know how to receive acknowledgement with grace. You disturb the whole continent. We're sick of it. You do too much. But I don't blame her. I blame our gutless, spineless, visionless, and patriotic leaders who allowed her to come and stand there and not even admonish her people to know how to behave on foreign land. But one thing is that our voices are being heard in spite of our leaders. Let me put that in quotes, because I don't know what leadership attributes they're exhibiting. I have to say it. And that's why they don't respect us. That's why they have a name for you. When they closed their borders, did they care? Did they care for Ghanaians? No. They said they were protecting their rights or whatever they were trying to protect at the time, because inferior or fake things were coming through the border. They closed it till they figured it out. You went there. Did they listen to you? That time it was the previous foreign minister. They didn't listen to you because it didn't suit their purposes. But folks, remember that some Nigerians were laughing that only 50 people showed up for there. It wasn't even a protest. That wasn't a protest or demonstration. Nigerians, let me tell you, those Nigerians who have mouth, the mouthy and couth ones, who say, it's the people who don't know how to, who have no jobs. Look at them, 50 people out of 35 million. That was a walk, and it has shaken you. That's shaking you, so-called giants. For your foreign minister to come. Next, it will be your president. Folks, all that to say that Ghanaians, we're going to prevail. We are already prevailing. We might have to drag our quote-unquote leaders along, kicking and screaming, but eventually they do listen and hear us. Because at first they thought they would bring that 419 man who used to call himself king and take pictures and say, oh, everything is cool. And they saw that it's not moving Ghanaians, so they have to up it up a notch. So Ghanaians, empower da, because we will prevail and maintain our peace. Folks, I'm going to end it here because if I go on, I'm going to say something more. I'm going to just say things I shouldn't. I just know myself. Because the more I think about it, the more I'm boiling. Because I don't see why our leaders, like, how do you get into a position? Is it because you are sold out and then you become so spineless? What is going on? Oh. Folks, I'm going to end it here. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.